here. This is my first virtual fair, but I'm so glad to explain to you what the program would look like. So welcome to Italy. Today you're going to discover Rome a little bit with me. I'm part of the CIEE Rome team since 2018. And today we also have our two amazing alumni 2021. So you're also going to have the chance to connect with your future fellow travelers. Before we start, I wanted to ask if you could add a code next to your name to show what session you are interested in. So you can add 1 for session 1 and 2 for session 2. Example 1, John Doe, or 2, John Doe. For Julia Sogol and Tony, you can write alumni, all right? All right, thank you. So, ciao a tutti. Hi, everyone. My name is Valeria. I'm the coordinator for high school programs in Rome, and also for faculty-led programs, which are kind of customized university programs held here in Rome. I was born and raised in Rome. I studied here foreign languages and translations, and at the same time I studied at the Conservatorio. I'm a pianist, actually, and this is why I didn't have the chance to study abroad myself. So this is one of the reasons why I love the study abroad field, because I really love to help the students take the best out of their experience abroad. There are, of course, a lot of reasons to come to Italy, and especially to Rome. One of the great part of our culture is food. As you can see from the left picture, I think it was taken on the first day of the 2021 Global Discovery Program. The students were enjoying our gelato, which is one of the many things to try and to taste in Rome. Of course, art, monuments, and history are a great part of our culture, a great part of our country, and especially in Rome. They are all over the place, they are all around every corner. There is something to admire. In Rome, there is also one very famous movie set, Cinecittà, that the students had the chance to visit last summer. Fashion and shopping, as well as design, are also part of our country, especially in the north, if you think about Milan. And then, of course, nature. We have a great variety of different landscapes, from white sandy beaches to rivers, lakes, the Alps, and so on. And last but not least, hospitality and Italian charm, I think, are known all over the world. I'm pretty sure that we, at least we try to be as much friendly as possible. And after the COVID-19, we literally couldn't wait to have tourists and students back. So we're very happy that everything restarted. So Rome is the capital of Italy. I'm pretty sure all of you already know that. Rome is a big city, and is also quite a busy city, because everything concerning institutional events take place in Rome. So there's a lot of things to do. Art, culture, nature, and of course, gastronomy are all on the menu. So we try to build the program so that we could include as many things as possible, so that the students could have a better idea of what is our culture. Some Rome highlights. So Rome spans over 3,000 years of history, and you can literally explore it all on foot. As I said, Rome is a big city, but the historical center is quite, it's walkable. I'm pretty sure both Tony and Julia Sogol will remember how much walking was included in the program. So my first suggestion is to bring comfortable shoes, because there's a lot of walking. I cited an example. Students could walk up to where Julius Caesar was killed, for example. It's really close to the study center. I don't know if you guys remember the name. It was Largo Argentina, just around the corner of the study center. They could also climb 551 steps up to the top of the dome of St. Peter, admiring the view from the top, 360 degrees. You can see all of Rome from the top. So even though Rome is a large city, as I said, the center is pretty easy to get around in. And the very special thing is that the study center is located right in the historical center of Rome. It's literally 10 minutes away from the Colosseum. We have moved there very recently. That is an historical building, and it was built by one of the architects who actually helped Michelangelo building the Sixtine Chapel, so it's quite famous. And Italy, of course, is famous for its food, and Rome is really, really no exception. Let's go through some of the characteristics of the program. What's included in a global discovery program? The Rome program is actually called Exploring Rome Through the Arts. And a typical week will include 15 hours of art history course held at the CIE Center. As you can see from the top left picture, I think it was during the final presentation of the students, that is one of our bigger classroom. The majority of the classes are held there. Plus, the students will have 2-3 hours of functional language, so functional Italian, what we call the survival Italian, because it basically teaches students how to survive in the city, how to order in a bar, how to order a cappuccino or a coffee, or how to buy stuff from local vendors and so on. Daily cultural activities and leisure activities are also included in the program. Of course, there's going to be some free time for the students because they need to explore and have fun also on their own, even though they are never left alone, because of course they are high schoolers, they are minors. So one of our priorities at CIEE is the safety. Program leaders will go with them. They will decide where to go, dividing them in groups, and have a little free time. All meals are also included in the program and arranged by CIE. Okay, so some examples of daily activities and excursions. I selected these pictures to let you have a better idea of what the activities would look like. For example, we have one very good picture in front of one of the fountains in Villa d'Este, which is located in a little town just outside of Rome during one-day trip. So there are going to be day trips or overnight trip. A cooking class is also included. The students will have the chance to learn how to make first dish, so a kind of pasta and the well-known tiramisu. And at the end of the cooking class, they can taste what they prepared. Also, on-site classes and city walking tours with their professors are included. Of course, visits to museums such as the Vatican museums or the Villa Medici. There are a lot of museums in Rome. If you look at the picture at the bottom, the students are inside the gallery for modern art, and they were having a drawing workshop. So a lot of workshops are also included. The mosaic and the fresco, the drawing one, and either some others, such as photography, documentary, workshops. So all activities and excursions will kind of bring to life an aspects of the daily lesson. So we try to build the program in a way that the students can learn in class, they can learn the specialized language, the specialized vocabulary of art history, and they can really put in place what they learned. So they can admire museums and they can learn old techniques, for example, during the mosaic and fresco workshops. What about the housing? So where are they gonna stay? They are going to stay in a centrally located hotel. The one that we chose this year is literally around the corner from Piazza Venezia. So if you look at the picture, there is a wonderful terrace where you can see all around from the top, and it's 6 minutes walking distance from the study center. So it's really close to it. The hotel has all the amenities and services. Breakfast is included. It's a continental one. Also, laundry is included. It would be twice during the program, and the students will share double or triple rooms with the other CIEE students. Last slide, of course, we need to talk a little bit about COVID-19 and what are the current conditions now in Italy. I have to tell you that Italy, I think, is one of the countries with the highest number of vaccinated people. So right now we have 86% of vaccinated people, which is quite a high number. And our rules are very strict. So face masks are mandatory in closed environments. We respect 6 feet social distancing, and we use as much as hand sanitizer as possible. And also the CDC card, that is the equivalent of our Green Pass, is mandatory to enter museums, restaurants, trains, buses, cinema, and so on. Even at the study center, we check every guest, we check every faculty. We have the app, so we check that they have the Green Pass or the CDC card. All right, so this was my last slide. Thank you so much for listening. Now, if Julia Sogol and Antoni would like to share their experience with us last summer, that would be great. And if you have any questions, you can either raise your hand or you can write in the chat box. Okay? So, guys, who wants to start?
Hi there, I'm Julia. I'm from Washington State, and I was on the Rome Exploring Through the Arts, the session 2. I'm really glad to see you guys. I had some technical difficulties, so I'm really glad I could get onto the Zoom. Is my volume okay and everything? Mm-hmm. Okay, great. So just a little bit about my experience. I found CIEE through searching study abroad programs, and I made sure I really researched it well, and I found that this was probably the best option for me. And as Valeria was talking about before, CIEE has a lot of benefits, if I didn't say. You have your housing that comes with the tuition costs. You have meals. You always have a chaperone with you. And most importantly, with the program that we went on, it was a lot about immersion. So we learned a lot about Rome's history and artwork through actually doing activities and workshops. And I thought that was something really nice about the program. Basically, from the start, there was group flights, so people all arrived in Rome, and none of us really knew each other. We just talked through group chats on Instagram or something. And so when we met each other, I think we were all quite nervous, but we got along very well, very fast, and we all became friends, and it just felt very common and very nice. The housing was wonderful. Everything was taken care of, and everything was very organized, so no one was had any problems with that. And the activities we did, we were always busy every day. Like you were saying, we were always walking around. You always want to wear tennis shoes because the Palatine Hills, your feet will hurt after walking for a couple of hours. But it was quite a great experience, and I have lots of photos and memories of this trip. If you guys have any questions, feel free to chat, or you can, I don't know if you can turn on your microphone, but I can answer anything really.
Julia, do you have any anecdotes for us? Something like fun that you experienced in your program, something that you want to tell us about? I don't know, anything?
Yeah, well, the whole thing was quite an adventure. It was the first time I was traveling alone before, and I'm sure it's the same for all the high school students that are wanting to go on these programs. Getting there, I didn't go with a group flight actually, and I booked my own. So I went with Alitalia, and I was very excited and try to have everything organized. And just getting there, I almost missed my flight, both of my flights. And the minute I sat on the plane kind of just left, and I thought, thank God I made it. But when we got there, a not so fun anecdote, but something that I think CIE handled really well was everybody on our program was basically vaccinated, and I understand now you have to be vaccinated to be on a program, which I think is that true?
Yes, right.
Yes.
Yes.
So everybody was vaccinated on our program, and around the 5th day, we were all, getting along and having fun. We were very excited and doing all of our activities. But one of my friends who I wasn't boarding with, she caught a cold, and soon after I caught a cold from her, and I was very nervous, and it just kind of was a small thing, but it just kept getting worse. So I remember when we went to the Coliseum, I was like coughing, and I was so embarrassed, and I just didn't know what to do. And one of my instructors, one of our lovely tour guides, just said, no, it's okay. Everyone knows you don't have COVID. You're fine. And just days after that, I was still sick. And I think that the staff handled it very, very well. They definitely helped me get a COVID test, and they took all the precautions. But that was just a funny incident. I thought I definitely remember the trip more because of it. But that just shows how on it the staff is. So I really appreciated that.
Thank you, Julia. Thank you so much. Thanks. I was wondering, so I'm reading one of the questions from Sadfil. I was wondering a few things, what the hotel will be staying at, and two, you would like to know what is the name of the hotel? Two, why should I choose this over other teen tours study abroad opportunities? Okay, so the hotel is located in the historical center. If you want, I already know the name. So it's called, it's around the corner with the Piazza Venezia. Lara, do you think it's an information that I can give?
Yeah.
Now, the name?
If that's the name that you think for sure we'll be using next summer, yeah, sure.
I can also write it down. It's called the Pace Helvetia Hotel. I'm writing it down. Why should you choose this over other teen tour study abroad opportunities? Well, it's a tough question, but I think that the first thing we mostly care about is the safety for the students. So particularly, as also Julia Salgo said, during such a difficult period with the COVID-19, we really care about the student safety. We take all the precautions. We help them whenever is needed. And I think one of the main points of this program is that the students are never left alone. The program leaders are always with them, and they're basically the point of reference for students. So the staff is also one very strong point of reference, but the PLs are the ones who are always with them. They are engaged in the activities. They help the students with any needs. I mean, if someone needs, I don't know, to buy something, they are with them. Every day they communicate with the staff. So we are always informed of anything about the students. I think this is one of the main reasons. And then, of course, because the program is built in a way, as I said during the presentation, that all the activities are, first of all, they follow a chronological way, and then they are, all of them are part of the same, making the students learn about our history in Rome. So it's a really customized program at the end. So I think it's one of the main reasons. I don't know if I answered the question.
Yeah, and I would just add that at CIE, we try to make the learning experience fun and experiential. So you're not just sitting in a classroom being lectured at, but the class is hands-on and you're engaged. And then you're literally walking out the door in Rome to go see the art and the architecture that you've just been learning about. So if you like to learn in that way, it would be a really good program for you. But I think our students, the alumni, can speak better to that from their experience.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, to answer Jake's question more, a really great thing about CIE's program, which is I don't think like most other programs, is usually before I went on the trip, I thought we would kind of be cooped up in our hostel or our stay, but they really take the initiative to make the activities fun and something that you actually want to do. It's not just sitting in a lecture room listening to someone speak the whole time. So you're actually out in Rome, you know, you're walking, you're seeing things. And I think also you just like the nicest people go on these trips, and usually the instructors or the chaperones, you'll just really click with them. So the experiences you have will definitely be great.
Thank you. Perfect. Thank you so much. Tony, would you like to add something else? Would you like to share your experience with us? Tony was one of the alumni of the other program in Rome, the language and culture. But yeah, we'd love to hear your experience in Rome.
Yes. So really much like Julia said, it was a very nice experience. It was my first time going abroad by myself, and I felt like every person that participated was nervous, because you never know what you're gonna encounter. But the good thing about CIEE is that what they do is they create like a little chat where you can meet them before you leave. So which I think is a great thing that they do, because you're able to connect with students even before you go. So I felt like going into the trip, I was nervous to meet them in person, but I wasn't that scared to make friends. And once we got there, like Julia said, the people that are with us, they're very nice people, and the good thing is that they were locals. So we were able to go to them when we need any advice. Like even to this day, I'm still in contact with one of our chaperones. So it's a really nice bond that you have, especially with the friends as well that you meet from different states. I mean, overall in general, it will be a very nice experience, especially knowing this. And knowing this in my sophomore year, I would have gone a lot more. But now that since I'm already in college, I won't be able to do CIE anymore. But I do recommend students to do.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you so much. So yes, you mentioned a very important part of the program is that the professors and usually the program leaders are local, so they know very well Rome, especially the professors. I mean, last summer we had 2 Roman professors, so they were both born and raised in Rome, so they know Rome like their pockets, basically. And also the program leaders, we felt that having local program leader will help us a lot, because of course knowing the city will help the staff, the students, walking through, not having difficulty in logistics and so on. So that is very important. Thank you, Tony, for saying that.
I can answer the question about flights if you want. So I work on the US side and helping students and parents and everyone get ready to depart. So we recommend that students join group flights if they want to, but it's not mandatory. Like you heard from Julia, she booked her own flight. So you can fly independently, but we recommend you fly over on one of our group flights. We will publish those group flights for you by February, so in a couple months. And we work with a flight partner called FlightFox. We'll give them, once you're confirmed to travel with us, we would give them your email address, and then you can work with them directly to book your flight. All students are responsible for paying their flight booking fees, but if you choose the group flight, you can fly over with other students and a CIE chaperone, so a program leader or even a CIE staff member sometimes. And then if you're like, I'm from Portland, Maine, I would fly from Portland, Maine by myself, let's say to New York City, JFK. And then in JFK, I would meet the whole group. Everyone would fly from their smaller airports to JFK. We would meet the group leader and the chaperones and the students, and we would all fly from JFK to Rome and be picked up by CIE staff upon arrival at the airport.
Right. So any other questions for us? Feel free to ask.
Hi, my name is Tracy. I'm actually just jumping in because my daughter is in school, so she couldn't make this. I was just curious about the timeline of she's applied, and I think applied for a scholarship. When do you start hearing back if whether or not she's accepted to go and that kind of stuff?
So our scholarship deadline is not until January 14th, 2022. Okay. So there's a bit more time that we will wait to get back to people who've chosen to apply for scholarship. Then we need a few weeks to have our external review panel review the scholarship applications and then get back to everybody. So it's usually about mid-February that you hear yes, you got a scholarship, or you know, how much you got, or no, you didn't get a scholarship. And then you have about 10 days to 2 weeks to decide, do I want to go or do I not want to go? And then you would need to confirm and pay $1,000 deposit to hold your spot, unless you got a scholarship, in which case, you know, it would be a different amount. Okay. So yeah, I would say mid-February is when
mid-February.
You know.
So everybody, whether you applied for a scholarship or not, you get.
No, actually, if you're not applying for a scholarship and you're just applying to go, you would hear sooner if you're accepted. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Yep. So we do that on a rolling basis, and you would hear once you've submitted your application, you would hear within 10 days to 2 weeks if you're accepted or not. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we should expect to hear something mid-February and then have 10 days to decide whether or not she gets the scholarship. We would still be able to make the decision to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Sure.
All right. Any other questions for us?
I was going to ask Tony or Julia, would you mind just sharing the most fun activity that you did when you were on program, the one that you remember the most?
Oh, one thing I remember the most I have it on video actually is going to our first free time. And I'm a very big soccer guy, big soccer fan. So during that time we were in session 2, Italy was on the finals. So for me, it was very, very emotional and a very different experience. You know, coming from the city, you don't see that as much. And I really love to play soccer. So I saw these kids playing in the park, and I just told them if I could hop on, and I just play with them for a couple of minutes. But just very nice other people. They're very friendly. So that was really one of my things I still remember to this day.
Right. It was a crazy time, huh? Do you remember?
No, yeah, everybody going around the streets screaming, honking, everybody going crazy.
So cool.
That's great.
I can definitely relate to what Tony is saying. Every night you'd hear honking and cheering and people walking down the street, and there was games sometimes that we were there. But one of my favorite times, I think, was at the end of, I think, the second week. We got to go to Ostia Antica, which was a really nice historical site. And there we kind of did our final art project for our last presentation, which was really nice. And so we all kind of just sat down and drew and talked at the same time. And so I think we all got to know each other better, and we really solidified our friendship near the end. So in the final days, it was really, really sad when we were leaving. But again, like I was saying, and like what Tony was saying, there's students from all different states. And I think it's so nice because you meet new people, you have new connections, and we want to meet up a couple years later, maybe back in Rome or something like that. But
Right.
something nice like that. Yeah.
Cool. Nice. So I think you're one of the few people who mentioned Ostia Antica. Wow, that's great to hear, because it's more or less like a little Pompeii. So it is an archaeological, it's a gorgeous place. So yeah, and then and also the final presentation were such an event for you guys and for us, because it was so emotional. And at the same time, you showed us how much you learned during the program. I remember all of you guys crying because the program was over, and the stuff like this all the time. So it was nice memories for us as well. Thank you. Okay. Anyone else have some questions?
Hi, my name is Elizabeth, and I am a parent of a child who is also in school right now. So I'm standing in for her for session 1. And I just want to thank you for this. I'm so glad you have this, because I want to go. I wish
I know, same here.
I was a high school student. This sounds wonderful. So I'm really excited to for her to be involved. And anyway, she's applying right now. We're working on the application. So thank you so much for having this. If we have any additional questions, we can just email. Is that correct? I can't think of anything right now.
Yeah, you can email. I'll put the email address here in the chat box. It's hsabroad@cie.org, or you can call us along the way, and we'll happy to answer any questions.
I think there is also an application workshop on Thursday. Is that correct, Laura? Right?
Yes, there is Thursday night. So if you have questions specifically about your application, we're doing some workshops to coach people through how to fill it out.
Great. Thank you. That's fantastic.
All right, Valeria, you must have done an excellent job. Everyone's satisfied.